Uprising terrified the French Revolutionary government so much that they wanted to wipe an entire region of France off the map? Let's get into it. In the 1790s, the French Revolutionary government made one of its biggest mistakes. It went to war with the Catholic Church. It passed a law forcing priests to swear loyalty to the state instead of the Pope. In Paris, this was seen as progress, but in the deeply religious and rural region of Vendée, it was blasphemy. So when the new republic executed the king and began drafting their sons for foreign wars, Vendée reached its breaking point. Peasants, priests, and even nobles took up arms, sewing the Sacred Heart of Jesus onto their clothes and forming the Catholic and Royal Army. The army was not centralized and was mostly grouped around charismatic local leaders, but the soldiers knew the area's geography very well, and they used that knowledge to wage a savage guerrilla war. So they sent in the infernal columns. These armed forces marched through the area, burning villages, destroying crops, and killing rebels and their families on sight. In the city of Nantes, thousands of priests, nuns, women, and children were loaded onto boats and deliberately drowned in the river. During the Battle of Savigny, the last time the Vendée fought as a unified army, they were exhausted, starving, and joined by a caravan of thousands of women and children who had fled previous massacres. The battle was an absolute slaughter. Survivors fled into the forest only to be followed and hunted down. Witnesses even describe civilians being herded into a church, locked in, and shot. Despite all of this, the Vendéans fought like hell, but their decentralized ad hoc resistance was no match for the Republican armies. Still, they refused to disappear. They regularly harassed, ambushed, and terrified Republican forces. Relentless pressure on the Republic actually forced them to cut a deal. It gave the rebels amnesty, freedom to practice Catholicism, and exemption from the draft, but it came at a staggering cost. The deaths of 150 to 200,000 Vendéans. This didn't break the Vendées' will to resist. There were periodic flare-ups over the years. It made the region such a political powder keg. Even Napoleon resorted to pacification policies to keep them happy during his rule. Despite all of the French Revolutionary government's talk of liberty, equality, and fraternity, they brought fire, famine, and a war that scarred an entire region for generations. This is why ultimately you'll hear me talk sometimes about how we can't black and white the French Revolution. There were many great things about it, also many very dark and horrible things, so much so that people are still debating about it today.